Hi students, my name is Dr. M. Abdul Rahman, working as Associate Professor of Chemistry, Department of Collegiate Education. In this topic, I am going to discuss about the analysis of water. That is one of the topic included in the basic analytical chemistry portion or course of BSc Chemistry 5th semester of University of Mysore. The contents involved in my talk are the introduction about the water, quality parameters and standards for drinking water, contamination of water sources responsible for contaminating water, water sampling methods, water purification methods, and desalination of seawater. Water is, as we know, water is an abundant and widely distributed substance. It covers nearly 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Water is the second most important substance required to sustain human, animal, and plant lives. Water is used for both domestic and industrial purposes. Definition of pure water. Pure water is also known as purified water, that is, water from a source that has removed all impurities. Distilled water is the most common form of the pure water. Quality parameters and standards for drinking water. It should be colorless, odorless, pleasant in taste and clean. The pure water must be colorless, odorless, pleasant in taste and clean, and it should be free from objectionable chemicals, harmful chemicals, and the pH should be between 6 to 9, and the dissolved oxygen DO content should be from 4 to 6 pm. Its turbidity should be less than 10 ppm, and total TDS should not be more than 500 ppm. That water must be reasonably soft and should be free from disease producing microorganisms. Next, the contamination of water. The sources responsible for contaminating water are these are the following sources, contaminants. We call it as contaminants. The first one is excreta and organic industrial waste. Organic compounds are derived from the decay of vegetables and animal matter, including bacteria. Water also gets contaminated with the sewage and human excreta. Pathogenic bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria such as typhoid bacillus and commensal bacteria of intestinal origin such as coli from the groups. They also introduced in the water. So these are some of the contaminants or a contamination of the water molecules. The next one is plant nutrients. The major plant nutrients responsible for contamination of water is the phosphate ion. Its source is the polyphosphate used in the manufacture of synthetic detergents. An increase in the phosphate concentration in the water is also called as eutrophication. It is responsible for abundant growth of algae. Pesticides. These are used in agricultural operations. These include insecticides, rodenticides, herbicides, and fungicides, which mainly contain organochlorine, organosulfur, and organophosphorus compounds. These are insoluble in water and do not readily undergo decomposition. For example, the pesticides like paranthyon, malathion, DDT, endosulfan, bagon, etc. So these are some of the pesticides which are responsible for contamination of water. Next, another one is heavy metals and chemicals. Pollutants like heavy metals such as cadmium, copper, lead, and mercury, and other chemicals such as hydrogen sulfide and cyanides is of great concern because of their high toxic effects, even in minute quantities on living beings. So these chemicals, these heavy metals, and these compounds, hydrogen sulfide and cyanides, they are all very much responsible for the contamination of waters. Next, some sort of heat also that generates in a process that cannot be effectively utilized and therefore has to be discharged into the sink. Generally, water is used to carry away heat along with other effluents. If released into the river or lake, the heat might kill some useful aquatic organisms. Next, we will consider the water sampling methods. The water sampling, that means the process of taking a portion of water for analysis or other testing is called sampling. For example, drinking water to check that it complies with relevant water quality standards, or river water to check the pollutants. There are 5 types of samplings. First one is systematic sampling. It's a plan that will divide the water surface into a grid and take samples in a small regular pattern. The another one is random. A random number of generators. A random number table is then used to select the grid points at which samples should be collected. If a waste site contains numerous containers of unknown weights and it is not possible to analyze every container, a fraction of the containers are selected at random for analysis. Another method, sampling method, is convenience sampling. That is also known as grab sampling or accidental sampling or opportunity sampling. It's a type of non-probability sampling that involves sample being drawn from that part of the population that is close to the hand. This type of sampling is most useful for pilot testing. Another one is cluster. Cluster sampling is accomplished by the population into groups, usually geographically. These groups are called clusters or blocks. The clusters are randomly selected and each element in the selected clusters are used. Another method is stratified. Stratified sampling is a type of sampling method in which the total population is divided into smaller groups or strata to complete the sampling process. The strata are formed based on some common characteristics in the population data. Next one is the water purification methods. Purification of water for domestic purposes, that means for drinking purpose, involves the removing of various types of impurities. The following treatment process are employed. The first one is removal of suspended impurities are carried out as follows. The removal of suspended impurities can be done by screening. This is the raw water or impure water is passed through screens having large number of holes. When floating matters are retained by them. So in this way you can remove some floating impurities. Another method is sedimentation. Sedimentation is a process of allowing water to stand undisturbed in big tanks when most of the suspended particles settle down at the bottom due to the force of gravity. So sedimentation with the coagulants is the process of removing the fine suspended and colloidal impurities by the addition of required amount of chemicals called coagulants to water before sedimentation. So in this way, by a coagulation method, we can remove the impurities by sedimentation. That means the impurities will settle in the bottom of the tank. Another method is the filtration. This is the ordinary method, filtration. Filtration may be defined as the process of removing colloidal matter and most of the bacteria, microorganisms, etc. by passing water through a bed of fine sand and other proper sized granular materials. Microorganisms can also be removed, some big size microorganisms. And next one is removal of microorganisms. The process of destroying or killing the disease producing bacteria, microorganisms, etc. from the water and making it is safe for drinking purpose or for useful purposes is called disinfection. The disinfection of water can be carried out by the following method. One is boiling. Boiling the water can be disinfected. In this method, the water can be disinfected by boiling for about 10 to 15 minutes. For about on heating or on boiling the water for about 10 to 15 minutes, it kills some of the microorganisms, or most of the microorganisms can be killed by boiling water. And adding bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, 1 gram of bleaching powder per 100 kiloliters of water is mixed, and the water is allowed to stand undisturbed for several hours. The chemical action produces the compound hypochloric acids, which is a powerful germicide. It kills many of the microorganisms. Next one is by chlorination. Chlorine can also be directly added as a gas in a concentrated solution forms. Next one is desalination of seawater. The process of partial or complete demineralization of saline water such as seawater is referred to as desalination. Desalination can be brought about by, or this process of desalination can be done by one of the very important process that involves in our houses also, that is reverse osmosis. The formation of aquaguard water is also by reverse osmosis process. A method of producing pure water by forcing saline water or impure water through a semi-permeable membrane, hard water through a semi-permeable membrane across which only water molecules pass but not salt or impurities. So if any salts like magnesium carbonates, calcium carbonates, these solute particles are minerals present in the water, that these solute particles cannot be passed through a semi-permeable membrane. Desalination of seawater. Another method is electrodialysis. The passage of an electric current through a solution of salts results in migration of cations towards cathode and anions. Here, the migration of cations towards cathode and anions towards anode. Cations means the ion which attracts towards cathode. So positive ions, they attract towards cathode, and anions means negative ions, they attract towards positive electrode anodes. The use of semi-permeable membrane, cation or anion exchanges. Semi-permeable membranes like cation or anion exchange membranes in an electrolytic vessel permits the passage of only cations or anions respectively in the solution. This is the principle of desalination of water by electrodialysis. So in this video we discussed the water purification, quality parameters, standards for drinking waters, contamination of waters, water sampling methods, water purification methods, and desalination method. The reference books for this topic is Engineering Chemistry by Jain and Jain. And then another one is Instrumental Methods of Chemical Analysis by Gurudev R. Chatwal and Anand. And another book is Chemistry for Engineering Students by Dr. B.S. Jai Prakash, Professor R. Venugopal, and Dr. Shivkumaraya and Dr. Pushpa Iyengar. Thank you.